Bullet Club Gold has been a confusing concept so far. Why are they here? Why are they gold? Why do they obsessively hate Ricky Starks so much? All unanswered questions so far. New Japan's Bullet Club has had so many members now that it's hard to keep up, so that inspired me to think about who might join Jay White and his mate. Did you know Jeff Jarrett is a Bullet Club member? Here are a few realistic pictures for who could possibly join Jay and Juice, starting with the Guns. Now this might be a bit of an obvious one, and every faction needs a tag team, but the Guns might not be the only one in this video. This is largely inspired by recent events where the Guns and Jay and Juice have helped each other, with Austin and Colton even getting a win over the Hardys with the Bullet Club's help. I could really see the Guns join the Black and Gold and really sit under the learning tree of two established New Japan stars, if they want their style to go that way at least. But as they say, guns up. Next, Chris Bay and Ace Austin. This idea was actually inspired by a commenter on the short that I did a while back about Jay White and Juice Robinson's past, so full credit to them. They asked why Chris Bay wasn't involved yet, and I guessed that he was likely still signed to Impact. A month or so ago I actually saw Chris Bay and Ace Austin live in an incredible 4-team ladder match at One Pro Wrestling, which by the way is available to view on Fight Plus. They came across as an excellent X-Division or junior heavyweight style team that I could totally see signing with AEW once they wish to move on from Impact. Up next, Samoa Joe. I got this idea directly from the first Collision main event, and the following Dynamite where CM Punk seems to be continuing the feud with Jay and Juice. This one to me depends on your direction for CM Punk going forward. CM Punk and Samoa Joe had a classic trilogy of matches in early Ring of Honor, one still talked about by fans to this day, and Tony Khan is clearly well aware of that. Is Tony going to want to give us Punk vs Joe 4? Of course he is, but will the Bullet Club factor into that story? I could totally see that happening. Up next, absolute Ricky Starks. Nah, just kidding. Next, Tony Storm. Now bear with me on this one because it's going to take a bit of explaining. Now many years ago I would occasionally catch up with a promotion known as Shimmer, one of the more notable women's only US promotions in the early 2000s. Many wrestlers that were booked there by Dave Prazak have gone on to do amazing things in wrestling, even as high as main eventing WrestleMania. It was there where I first saw a wrestler called Amber ONeill, who also worked for Ring of Honor a few times. I would class Amber as a bit ahead of her time, as she would be an early Bullet Club member at a time before New Japan would even consider hosting women's matches. She would instead accompany her then spouse Luke Gallows and would be known as the Bullet Babe. Here's where Tony Storm comes in. Imagine if Tony Storm became Bullet Club's first active women's competitor, even going over to New Japan and competing for the IWGP Women's title. It would also get her away from the Outcasts, but that's a whole other thing. And finally, CM Punk. As I sat and watched the Collision main event, for a moment I thought about how cool it would be if CM Punk had swerved us all and turned on FTR. They would have set it up perfectly, with Dax Harwood through his podcast basically serving as Punk's stream of communication to the outside world, telling us how Punk missed wrestling and so on. I could totally see Punk wanting to lead a faction that a certain few folks he's not that friendly with used to be a part of, and want to do it better than them. He could even do us all a solid and redeem himself from that new Nexus shite. These are just a few ideas I had while watching Dynamite. Let me know who you think could join Bullet Club Gold in the comment section. Thank you for watching yet another wrestling channel. If you enjoyed this, please comment, like or subscribe.